If you have ever gone outside into the cold, hit the frozen food section at the grocery store, or maybe gone in from the cold into the house into the warm, and your bladder has just let go, or your sense of urgency ramps up high, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I have to pee now, this video is for you. Temperature change and incontinence. It's a thing. You're not imagining it. It's real. I have so many women that will talk to me about the fact that they're going through the grocery store, feeling fine, bladder's good, and then they hit the cold of the frozen food section and immediately will start to leak. Their urgency will get severe, and oh no, what do they do about that? I've had women tell me they've abandoned their carts. I had someone recently reach out and say that she's not bad when she's outside walking, but when she gets into the warmth, that temperature change between the cold and the warm, immediately she can't control her bladder. She has to get to the bathroom right away, and oftentimes she can't make it. And so what do you do about that? Temperature is a trigger. It triggers your bladder for whatever reason. Just like sometimes for some people, putting their key in the lock will trigger their bladder. There are certain things, running water, that will trigger the bladder. I remember when I was a little kid, if I was in a public bathroom and couldn't pee, my mom would turn on the water for me. There are things that will trigger your bladder to just let go. So how do you manage that? If that is something for you, temperature change is a thing. Here's some of the tips that I have for you, okay? So, one, make sure you're staying well hydrated. That seems crazy, right? Why do I want to be really hydrated if I'm telling you that I'm leaking? Because when your urine gets really acidic, that makes your bladder want to spasm and get rid of whatever is inside of it. So you don't want the urine to get too acidic. So watching your diet, making sure your hydration is good are two really key things to sort of watch as you are heading into maybe a situation where you know temperature change might come into play. You're going grocery shopping. You're going for a walk and coming back inside. Whatever it is where the temperature change might occur, a few hours before, if you sort of know that you can expect it, just be aware, make sure you're getting in your fluids, make sure you're getting in your water, okay? Watch your irritants, so your caffeines, your coffees, your teas, your highly acidic foods. Make sure that if you're having those, you're balancing it with the water, or limit or minimize those so that you sort of keep that irritation of that bladder lining down so that your bladder doesn't want to get rid of what's inside. Other thing to do is to slow down, okay? So not only controlling what's in your bladder and the acidity of what's in your bladder, but sort of that mind over body thing. It's a real thing, okay? So for a lot of women, when they start to know that this is coming on, it immediately creates a sense of panic. Like, oh gosh, I'm gonna be in the grocery store and I'm gonna have to abandon my cart and I'm just gonna pee, or I'm gonna have to make sure I have a pad on. And it creates this sense of anxiety and worry and stress, and that affects your muscles directly. So the first thing that I will tell you to do, if you know you're heading into a situation, or all of a sudden you find yourself in a situation where you're like, oh my gosh, my urgency is up, I feel like I'm gonna pee, whatever it was that triggered it, the hot, the cold, whatever temperature change, or if it was something else that triggered it, immediately stop. Take some deep breaths. Slow your body down. Heightening that level of anxiety and stress will just make your bladder want to get rid of everything even more. Okay, so first, slow down. It's not instinctive and it will be hard to do. You're going to be like, yeah, screw you, Britt, I want to run to the bathroom. Slow. Take a couple deep breaths. While you're standing there, try to do a couple Kegel exercises. It might be the only place that I ever recommend Kegel exercises. As a pelvic floor PT, I don't think they're the end-all be-all. I don't actually even prescribe them to most of my clients, but this is a place when dealing with urgency and dealing with sort of this temperature change, bladder triggers, that I will say try them. If that means you have to sit down wherever you are, sit down and do a few Kegels. If you can just stand, if you're in the grocery store, just stand, try to do a few lifts. Lift up with your pelvic floor, relax down. Lift up, relax down. Nice deep breathing, couple slow Kegels. Kegels have actually been shown in the research to relax bladder spasm. So that's why I'm having you try to do the Kegels in these moments. It may help to sort of settle that sense of urgency. When you sort of feel like you're settled a little bit, what I want you to do is to slowly walk to the bathroom. And what I want you to think about is a full glass of water. If you have a full glass of water and you need to get across the room with it, are you going to joustle it and run across the room? Or are you going to take it and sort of support it and carry it slowly across the room so that it doesn't leak? Most likely it's the latter, right? You're not going to run across the room with a full glass of water. So why would you run across the room or run across your house or run across the store with a full bladder? Think about it the same way. If that bladder is full and you're really feeling like you have to pee, and you start, oh my God, I gotta run quick, I'm pushing my cart, I'm running inside, I'm taking off my coat. If you're jostling around and you're working really fast and everything's go, 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 most likely everything's gonna start to spill out. Just like if you have a full glass of water and you are doing this with it, and it starts to splash over the sides. So, nice deep breaths. Do a few Kegels. Slow your body down. Walk slow to the bathroom. Unbutton your pants slowly in the bathroom. Okay? Sit down on the toilet slowly. It's all the speed. The number of women that tell me that they will pee as they're unbuttoning their pants because they're, fumbling around. Slow. Think slow. So be aware of your hydration if you can. Be aware of your diet if you know that you're going to put yourself into a situation where temperature control might trigger your bladder. But then if it happens, or when it happens, slowing your entire body down with deep breaths, Kegels, and moving slowly so that you can avoid the leaking or use the Kegels to stop the leaking, that will help hugely. And then in the off times, when you're not in that situation, making sure you're keeping up with your pelvic floor exercises so that you can keep your pelvic floor strong. That will help to make your Kegels stronger, to relax those bladder spasms, and help your organs to be better supported by a strong pelvic floor. And so hopefully those triggers will bother you less and less and less as time goes on. Hope that helps, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.